Good evening. Far above the dense canopy and the meticulously engineered soil, confront the absolute apex of the aerial domain. The golden eagle, the Aquila chrysaetos. This creature is not merely a bird. It is a living symbol of predatory perfection, an artifact of deep geological time, and a relentless engineer of the mountain and moorland landscape. Tonight, our focus will be a comprehensive examination of this magnificent raptor, exploring the meticulous biophysics of its flight, the hyperspecialized acuity of its sensory array, the demanding austerity of its obligate social contract, and the phylogenetic persistence that has allowed this avian monarch to reign across the vast expanse. To understand the golden eagle is to understand the uncompromising physics of the hunt and the neurological wiring of an apex predator that tolerates no rival within its colossal territory. Demanding our attention first toward the rigorous anatomy of the apex predator, investigating the structural integrity and sheer, tensile strength required to sustain its aerial mastery. The golden eagle, a foundational member of the genus Aquila and the larger family Haxipitridae, is a study in material science, weighing typically between 3 and 7 kilograms, yet capable of generating incredible lift and kinetic energy. Its immense wingspan, often exceeding 2 meters, is not simply a metric of size, but a meticulously calculated aerodynamic surface area. The skeleton, though possessing the characteristic pneumaticity of birds, where bones are hollow and connected to the respiratory system, is defined by a deep, heavily keeled sternum, or keel bone, which anchors the massive flight muscles. The most critical component of this skeletal frame is the furcula, or wishbone, which is robust and highly elastic, acting as a spring to store and return energy during the powerful wing beats, effectively minimizing the metabolic cost of continuous, powered flight, a feat of musculoskeletal engineering that allows the primary depressor muscle responsible for the downstroke to account for up to 20% of the bird's total mass. This biological engine is capable of sustaining the high G-force maneuvers required during a terminal dive. The skeletal fusion of the thoracic vertebrae provides a rigid base for the wings during high-speed dives, ensuring the transfer of force from the flight muscles to the wing is maximally efficient and structurally sound against the tremendous shear forces involved in maneuvering such a large mass at high velocity. The material science of its weaponry is equally compelling. The beak and talons are composed of keratinine, a fibrous structural protein that, in this application, achieves a level of hardness and resilience comparable to certain low-grade steels, specifically the beta-carotene, which provides a hard, dense surface layer. The beak, sharply hooked and laterally compressed, is designed not for tearing meat from a large carcass, but for the precise, efficient severing of tendons and the puncture of vital organs, minimizing the exposure time on the ground and maximizing the speed of the kill, a strategy critical for an animal that must secure its prey before competitors, mammalian or avian, arrive. But the true engineering marvel lies in the talons. These are the instruments of kinetic energy transfer, particularly the immense, locking rear claw. This structure is equipped with specialized ridges and grooves that aid in gripping and penetrating tough hide, and its musculature includes a unique glocking mechanism that allows the bird to maintain a crushing grip without continuous, metabolically expensive muscular contraction, crucial when lifting heavy prey or maintaining hold during a struggle. Studies measuring the gripping force of the Aquila genus suggests that the talons can exert pressures exceeding 500 pounds per square inch, delivering the killing blow not merely through brute force, but through traumatic internal crushing and the immediate severing of the spinal cord, a complex biological machine designed for rapid dispatch. The sheer scale and depth of the foot's musculature, necessary to handle prey, often weighing more than the eagle itself, represents a considerable proportion of the bird's total predatory power. And this mechanical perfection is what defines the eagle's role as an apex predator. This structural foundation finds its ultimate expression in the air, demanding that we next explore the intricate aerodynamics and engineering, the biophysics of flight itself, treating the wing as a masterpiece of structural mechanics and fluid dynamics. The eagle's flight is a complex interplay between soaring and dynamic gliding, dictated by the relationship between its mass and its wing surface area, a critical metric known as wing loading. The golden eagle operates with a relatively low wing loading compared to other predatory birds of similar size, which is essential for sustaining long periods of energy-saving flight. This low loading allows the eagle to maximize the benefits of thermal updrafts, those columns of rising warm air that are prevalent over sun-heated terrain. By spiraling within these thermals, the eagle can gain significant altitude with virtually no expenditure of powered flight energy, a form of natural fuel efficiency. The design of the wing itself, broad and elongated, is a high aspect ratio structure, optimized for maximizing lift while minimizing the induced drag generated at the wingtips. This minimization is achieved through the V-slotted primaries, the prominent finger-like feathers at the wingtip. When soaring, these primary feathers splay open, each acting as a miniature, individual wingtip. This separation disrupts the formation of a single massive wingtip vortex, the phenomenon known as induced drag, allowing the eagle to harness thermal updrafts with maximum efficiency, achieving silent lift without undue metabolic cost, a feature that also provides crucial stall resistance at low flight speeds when the eagle is meticulously scanning the ground. The wing is typically held in a slight upward V-shape, a dihedral, during gliding, which imparts significant lateral stability, crucial when riding the turbulent boundary layer of mountain updrafts, ensuring the eagle can maintain a steady flight path even in the most chaotic mountain air currents. The secondary feathers forming the inner wing are responsible for generating the majority of the lift, acting as the fixed, high camber surface of the aerofoil, while the primary feathers at the tip provide control, thrust, and stall resistance. The ability of the golden eagle to transition from slow, meticulous observation, where its speed barely exceeds the stall velocity, to a sudden, catastrophic dive, or stoop, is a testament to its muscular control over the feather geometry and its instantaneous manipulation of the pressure differential above and below the wing surface. During the stoop, the eagle dramatically reduces its wing surface area by pulling its wings inward, a maneuver known as tutting. This shifts the aerodynamic focus from lift maximization to drag minimization, allowing the eagle to maximize its acceleration under gravity. The specialized tail acts as a high-speed rudder and air brake, deploying rapidly in the final seconds before impact to control the angle of attack and ensure the talons strike the target at the precise required angle, demonstrating an extraordinary mastery of applied fluid dynamics and meticulous calculation of the Reynolds number and lift coefficient. This mastery of the air is merely a vehicle for the true engine of the hunt, demanding a deep dive into the sensory arsenal and neurological mapping that dictates its entire life strategy. The golden eagle's visual system is a biological triumph, a dedicated optical supercomputer. The eyes are truly remarkable, disproportionately large, and often weighing more than the brain. Fixed forward to impart the necessary binocular vision and depth perception, crucial for high-speed intercepts. The sheer size of the eye allows for a large image projection onto the retina, enhancing the detail captured. The retinal structure is particularly remarkable, featuring two distinct foveae, areas of dense photoreceptor packing. The central fovea, with its densely packed conical cells, provides exceptional resolution when looking directly ahead, essential for judging the final trajectory and distance during the strike. However, the second temporal fovea provides panoramic, monocular, wide-angle resolution used during the long hours of soaring to scan the vast ground below for subtle movement, a wide-net casting that is constantly cross-referenced with the high-definition frontal view. Estimates of the eagle's visual acuity, often cited to be 4 to 8 times sharper than that of a human, are based on the far greater density of photoreceptor cells and the high number of individual cells feeding into a single ganglion cell, allowing for superior spatial resolution. This allows it to spot a rabbit-sized object from kilometers away, a truly telescopic ability. Beyond sheer resolution, the raptor retina is highly sensitive to the UV spectrum, a sensitivity conferred by specialized oil droplets within the cone cells that filter and enhance specific wavelengths. While the full ecological application is still being actively researched, it is theorized that this UV sensitivity allows the eagle to track the urine and scent marking trails of small mammals, which reflect UV light, or to differentiate prey from background foliage by their unique UV reflectance signatures, effectively overlaying a neurological prey heat map onto the visual environment that is invisible to mammalian predators. Furthermore, the eagle possesses a nictitating membrane, a transparent inner eyelid that sweeps across the eye laterally. This membrane protects the cornea from dust and foreign matter, particularly critical during high-speed dives, and constantly moistens the ocular surface, ensuring the optical system remains perfectly clear and stable under extreme conditions. This hyperacute vision is augmented by the epipectin oculum, a mysterious, folded, vascular structure projecting into the vitreous humor, believed to play a critical role in rapid nutrient supply to the oxygen-hungry retina, and possibly in reducing glare or detecting slight motion through shadow changes, a unique adaptation to the demands of raptorial vision. This neurological hardware dictates the hunting optics. The eagle does not simply see prey. It tracks the target's trajectory, calculates the wind vector, and instantly programs the entire three-dimensional intercept path, factoring in its own mass and the kinetic energy required for the terminal phase with a speed of cognitive processing that is astonishing. The specialization of the golden eagle extends deeply into its ecological specialization. Niche partitioning and hunting strategies across its vast range, demonstrating a flexible conservatism. The golden eagle is, first and foremost, a predator of medium-sized mammals, and while it is often labeled a generalist due to the sheer diversity of its documented diet, its evolutionary success is built upon a flexible reliance on high biomass prey where available. Its hunting effort is maximized against targets that offer the highest caloric return for the energy invested. Throughout the western United States and the Eurasian steppe, The primary ecological niche is the pursuit of lagomorphs, rabbits and hares, and marmots, animals that provide a significant calorie-dense meal. In the harsher Arctic and boreal zones, the diet shifts, reflecting local availability to include ptarmigan, Arctic hares, and juvenile reindeer or mountain goat kids. Crucially, the eagle's strategy allows for a high degree of plasticity in prey switching. When its preferred mammalian biomass drops due to seasonal migration or population collapse, the eagle is equipped to switch to avian prey, such as grouse and raven, or, significantly, to adopt a scavenging and kleptoparasitic strategy. Kleptoparasitism, the theft of prey from other smaller raptors, foxes, or even less powerful mammalian predators, is a common supplementary strategy, particularly in winter months when direct hunting success is metabolically expensive, and the eagle's massive size grants it an overwhelming advantage in intimidation. The pursuit methods themselves are a demonstration of applied physics and psychological warfare. The primary tactic is the surprise attack from a ridge or thermal, using gravity and stealth to achieve maximum velocity before the prey registers the threat. This method capitalizes on the prey's lack of awareness from above and leverages the Earth's gravitational pull to accelerate the eagle to maximum attack speed, ensuring the prey has minimal time to react, thus maximizing the probability of a successful, clean strike. The secondary tactic is the cooperative hunt, particularly observed in mated pairs, a highly synchronized maneuver where one eagle acts as a decoy, flying conspicuously to draw the prey's attention or flush the target animal toward its partner, who is waiting in a concealed ambush position among the terrain, maximizing the efficiency of energy expenditure and ensuring a capture in complex terrain. The speed of the stoop can reach over 300 kilometers per hour, a velocity that means the impact itself, even before the talons engage, results in a kinetic energy transfer that is often sufficient to kill the prey instantaneously through blunt force trauma to the cranium or spine. This reliance on high-speed, high kinetic energy transfer dictates that the eagle must choose prey not just based on availability, but on the viability of a clean, swift kill that minimizes the risk of injury to its own complex and vital structures. This incredible hunting prowess is deeply coupled with a demanding social structure, defined by the social contract, monogamy, territory, and reproductive austerity, a life strategy that demands absolute commitment from both partners. The golden eagle is an exemplary model of obligate monogamy, with pairs typically forming a bond that lasts until the death of one partner. A bond reinforced by spectacular, synchronized aerial courtship displays known as sky dancing or undulating flight patterns. This deep bond is necessary for the massive commitment required to defend and provision their colossal territory, which can range from 60 square kilometers in resource-rich areas to over 200 square kilometers in barren subarctic regions. The territory is not merely a hunting ground. It is a fixed generational asset, passed down through time. Within this area, the pair constructs and maintains multiple nests, or eyries, often built on sheer cliffs or in the uppermost branches of the tallest trees, a strategy known as eyrie rotation. This rotation is an anti-parasite strategy, allowing one nest to be aerated and cleansed while the pair uses another, preventing the buildup of mites, fleas, and disease vectors. These eyries are immense, complex structures, sometimes weighing over a ton, and are often refurbished and reused over decades, becoming massive platforms composed of sticks, moss, and sometimes even the shed antlers of deer. The defense of this territory is non-negotiable and highly aggressive, employing frequent, intimidating aerial displays, and sometimes violent physical confrontation with rivals, often involving mid-air talons locked in a spiraling descent, a dramatic commitment to securing their reproductive space that serves as a high-stakes boundary marker. The reproductive cycle is characterized by reproductive austerity. The typical clutch size is small, usually 1 to 3 eggs, laid early in the year to synchronize hatching with the peak availability of spring prey, a crucial timing decision. The female typically undertakes the majority of the incubation period, which is long, around 40 to 45 days, while the male is responsible for provisioning the incubating female, demonstrating an absolute, fixed division of labor. This is followed by a demanding fledging period of 2 to 3 months, during which the young are intensely fed. The commitment of both parents to provision the developing young is absolute during this window. However, this period often culminates in the somber phenomenon of obligate siblicide, also known as the Cain and Abel syndrome. In a 3-egg clutch, the first hatched chick, being older, larger and stronger, almost invariably asserts dominance, aggressively outcompeting its younger, weaker sibling for food. In many cases, this aggressive competition escalates to direct, lethal assault, resulting in the death of the smaller chick. While seemingly brutal, this behavior is an evolutionary adaptation for brood reduction in resource-marginal environments, ensuring that in times of unpredictable or marginal resource availability, at least one chick survives to fledge successfully, maximizing the long-term reproductive fitness of the parents by cutting losses early rather than risking the loss of the entire clutch due to insufficient resource. This is a grim demonstration of the harsh energetic realities of sustaining an apex predator. The long-term success of the eagle cannot be understood without examining its deep past through genetic persistence and phylogenetic history, revealing a surprising degree of uniformity across its vast habitat. The golden eagle is considered a holactic species, with its range extending across the Northern Hemisphere, yet its population exhibits a remarkable low genetic divergence across this colossal area. Phylogenetic studies, particularly those using advanced mitochondrial DNA analysis and microsatellite markers, indicate that the various subspecies, historically recognized by subtle differences in plumage and size, such as A.C. chrysaetos in Europe, A.C. canadensis in North America, and A.C. Daphanea in Asia, diverged relatively recently, likely due to cyclical glacial expansion and contraction during the Pleistocene epoch. This slow divergence suggests 2 possibilities: either a recent and rapid expansion from a single refugial population, or, more likely consistent, low-level gene flow, maintained across historical land bridges like Beringia during periods of lowered sea level, facilitating connectivity between the eastern and western hemispheres. This low genetic diversity, however, presents a significant challenge for conservation genetics, meaning that local populations may be particularly susceptible to the effects of genetic drift and environmental bottlenecks. The lack of robust genetic variability reduces the overall adaptive capacity of the species to rapidly respond to new pathogens or dramatically shifting climate conditions, limiting its ability to naturally select for resistance or resilience. Therefore, each geographically isolated population must be meticulously managed as a distinct evolutionary significant unit, recognizing that their apparent morphological similarity masks an underlying vulnerability to modern fragmented environment. The species' persistence is a result of its anatomical perfection meeting a very broad, yet consistent ecological niche, a true embodiment of the principle that if something works perfectly, evolution need not change it. The golden eagle is a masterpiece of evolutionary stasis, a living remnant of the megafauna age, whose genetic footprint stretches back millions of years. Finally, we must consider the modern crucible, the eagle's challenge of climate resilience and the future of the aquiline reign, where its ancient perfection meets the relentless pace of anthropogenic change. The golden eagle is an indicator species for the health of upland and wilderness ecosystems, and its vulnerability to anthropogenic pressure is high. The primary threats are not direct predation or competition, but rather habitat fragmentation, the loss of prey biomass due to human land use, and the specific hazards introduced by modern infrastructure. The shift in prey base due to climate change. For instance, the northward shift of lagomorph or marmot populations, or changes in snowpack leading to increased prey vulnerability, forces the eagle to expand its already vast territory, increasing metabolic cost and interpair conflict. However, the most acute threat in many areas, particularly Europe and North America, is the proliferation of wind energy infrastructure. Large wind turbines operate within the eagle's crucial airspace, specifically the flight corridors utilized during hunting and territorial patrol, often at ridgetop elevations. The eagle's visual system, perfected for spotting small moving prey on the ground, often fails to register the massive, rotating blades as an immediate threat due to a phenomenon known as motion smear or collision fixedness, leading to high-incidence collision mortality, a threat amplified by the bird's tendency to fly with its head down while searching for food. This conflict between conservation goals and renewable energy deployment is one of the most pressing challenges in raptor management today, requiring the meticulous mapping of flight paths and the strategic microsighting of turbines to minimize risk to this long-lived, slow-reproducing avian predator. The austerity that ensures the survival of one chick in a harsh environment now becomes a liability in the face of increased adult mortality. The low reproductive rate means that populations take decades to recover from even marginal increases in adult death rates, leading to what is termed demographic vulnerability. Furthermore, the pervasive threat of lead poisoning from consuming carrion shot by hunters using lead ammunition continues to be a major source of non-natural mortality across its range, acting as a silent, systemic killer that degrades the eagle's neurological function over time, a direct consequence of human activity. Therefore, the future of the golden eagle rests not on its power or its perfection, but on the human capacity for restraint and the willingness to preserve the enormous, uninterrupted territories necessary for the long-term survival of this aerial monarch. The reign of Aquila chrysaetos is a story of uncompromising dominance through physics and biology, but its continuation is now, tragically, a story of human political and ecological will. The sky is the eagle's domain, and the integrity of that domain is what we must secure, ensuring that the ancient, perfect mechanisms of its flight and hunt are not rendered obsolete by the speed of our own construction. Thank you.